Hey, Granny, I bet you appreciated my little help back there. Want to pay me for my service? Someone had to rinse all the germs off the stalls with that bucket of water. Or did I mistake the germs with you? Honestly, it's hard to tell when you're always sticking your hands into the toilet.
I see your name is Ben Carter. Why did you splash that bucket of water onto me, young man? I hope you have a good reason. Please explain, I'm all ears.
I saw a dirty old lady cleaning the bathroom stalls, and I thought I'd be a helping hand by making sure that the hag was also kept clean after touching all the urinals. How's that for a good reason? Super kind of me, I know. Look on the bright side, Granny. Now you don't have to bother taking a shower. You can just go straight to bed. I know that old people have a hard time staying up.
I was suspicious of your motives when you asked for my contact information, but I was still hoping that you had a better explanation. Perhaps you were having a bad day and you needed someone to lash out at. Maybe after you'd seen what you'd done, you regretted it and wanted to make an apology. But I see you just wanted to contact me so you could further ridicule me. I don't understand why anyone in their right mind would go through all this trouble. Mr. Carter, please allow an old woman to speak. But back in my days, pouring a bucket of water over someone's head was considered to be unbelievably rude. If this were school, I would assume you were trying to bully me. I'm afraid you're not fit to be an employee of this company.
Ha! Like you would know. You're not even an actual employee. You're just a janitor, aren't you? All you do is clean the bathroom stalls every day. I bet you're working as a janitor because you couldn't find an actual job. Maybe you didn't graduate college, or did you fail high school? We both know that you wouldn't be doing such a low-grade job if you had any actual skills. I'm so glad that I'm so much better than you.
I see that you have some serious prejudices regarding the janitorial staff. This may be a problem. Just to make sure, but I assume that you're one of the new employees that this company just hired, correct? I'm afraid the training staff is going to have to hear about this incident.
Oh yeah? And you think I care? No one's gonna bother listening to some complaint made by an old janitor. You can tell them about it, but nothing will happen. I know my place in this company. I'm valuable and everyone knows it. You're lucky that I didn't stick your head in the toilet. Or better, that I didn't fire you.
Fire me? You?
Yeah, unlike you, I actually work here as an employee and as a special one. They'll fire you on the spot if I wanted them to. Hey, that gives me an idea. Want to test my theory?
I see how this is going to be. There's no hope for you, is there? I take it that you still don't realize who I am. Otherwise, you wouldn't be acting like this.
Oh, so now you're delusional. I understand you're old, it happens. But seriously, how threatening can you be? You're just an old lady who cleans a crapper. What a poopy job. Maybe you worked here for a long time, maybe some of the employees think you're a sweet old lady. I don't know, and it doesn't really matter. Either way, I'm much more important to the company than the likes of you. So, if you know what's good for you, you better start groveling.
Oh, is that so? I wonder, do you think like that because that's what they taught you during training? Or is it just purely your problem? I sincerely hope it's the latter. I've never come across such a hateful, self-important, despicable new employee in all my time here. I'm quite shocked by you.
I see. So you really did work here for a long time. Well, heads up, old lady. Maybe all the others were too kind to treat you the way you actually deserved, but I'm not like them. If you're not doing your job cleaning well enough, then I'm here to give you a piece of my mind. Think of it as a coach egging the players on.
You should know that you aren't helping in any way. In fact, I'd say you're getting in the way of me actually getting the job done. Do you think you can just do something like that and get away with it? I don't know how you lived your life, but in the adult world, there are consequences to your actions.
Oh no, the janitor's giving me a lesson about life. Are you a wise guru disguised as an old janitor? I don't know how you lived your life, but janitors aren't that hard to find, you know. We can always find a replacement for you. If you aren't doing your job well, or if we don't like you. So I would consider shutting your big mouth up.
Perhaps you do have a point. People are always replaceable. If one doesn't do their job right, they can get fired. But that leaves me to question why you think that rule doesn't apply to you as well. Even though our jobs may seem different, there's always a chance that we'll mess up and lose our job. There's always someone who'd be willing to fill in our place.
I just got hired though. I just graduated college and the interviewers liked me enough to hire me on the spot. This is the thing, Granny. We're not the same. I'm valuable to the company, you're not.
I admire your arrogance. It's like a brick wall. I can't get anything through to you. Let me ask you again. Why did you act like that back there?
Oh, was the explanation I gave you not satisfying? Then let me think of a new one. Let's see. What about this? I had a bad day, and I needed to find a way to refresh myself. I saw an old lady that wasn't doing her job as the janitor, so I decided to teach her a lesson or two. That made my day, and I was able to get back to work feeling nice and refreshed. There, you happy? Thanks to you, I feel better now.
Do you actually think that that story would be a satisfying reason behind your actions?
Of course it will, because it doesn't really matter. It's about time you accepted our differences, Granny. No one cares about you. I can do what I want. I'm just that special. And you're just the janitor. You can't do anything about anything.
Very well. I see that your boss needs to hear about this as well. I hope he'll teach you a thing or two about being a responsible adult.
What, you think that's gonna scare me? Oh no, please don't tell my boss about this. Really, I'm sure they won't even believe you.
Having an employee like you isn't good for the company. Today you humiliated me, but in the future you might humiliate even more people with various backgrounds. I'm afraid the company is better off without you.
Oh, don't think I'm gonna let you off the hook just yet. Tell you what, I'm gonna make you my personal assistant. You can start your new job by giving me $500 tomorrow. I can use that money to go do some gambling after work.
I think you're going a bit too far. I hope I was your first victim. You aren't treating the other staff the same way you're treating me, are you?
Huh? Of course I am. You're not the first janitor I met. I'm sorry, but you just aren't that special. A few days ago, I met another old dude cleaning the bathrooms on the first floor. I made sure to give him a little scare. It was hilarious, actually. He was such a wimp. I just gave him a little shove. He just handed his wallet over to me.
I can't believe this. Who was that man? Do you know his name?
How should I know? Come to think of it, I haven't seen him around lately. Maybe he quit his job, or maybe he died out of shock. He did seem really freaked out. All I did was shove his head into the toilet, but I guess he wasn't man enough to handle it. Too bad. Anyways, now it's your turn. Be prepared, because today was just the beginning. We're gonna have so much fun together.
I said that your actions reminded me of a bully from school, but I'm shocked to say that you really do sound like one. Is that how you spent your time growing up? I think I've heard enough from you. I will be prepared.
Maybe I didn't give you enough credit. You may be an old hag, but you have much more guts than I first expected. I like that. Tell you what, I'll go easy on you. If you just hand over your cash to me, I promise I won't hurt you. How's that? You can just go back to your job.
Is that so? Very well. Marcy, there's something I'd like to consult with you regarding our new employees. Is everything going fine? Hey, boss. So far, everyone's been doing really well. Well, everyone except for one guy. You know, we might want to change some things about how we choose to hire some of our employees. I know we go easy on some applicants because they might be one of our employees' kids or because they might be a friend looking for a new job, but we should really do a thorough background check before we hire them. Just what I thought anyways. Why do you ask? Going easy on some applicants, huh? Usually people who get hired like that understand that they're getting special treatment. They make sure to do their best to prove their worth. especially since it isn't exactly fair to all the other applicants who didn't get the job. And they generally do very well too. But I assume that isn't the case this time around, is it?
Yeah, it seems like they don't really understand why they're getting special treatment. They might be a bit too arrogant for my taste. It's like they're spoiled children. It looks like they think that being offered special treatment means that they're better than everyone else. I wouldn't really mind if they were able to get the job done, but they don't. They just make the other new employees do it for them, and I think it's causing a lot of conflict amongst all the new guys. I try to stop it, but it's getting out of hand. I mean, why can't everyone just get along? We're all supposed to be a team.
Wow, I haven't seen you so troubled for a long time. You usually love taking care of new employees. Are they really that troublesome?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk ill of the new employee. I wasn't being unprofessional.
Don't worry about it too much. Let me just make a wild guess. Is the new guy causing all that trouble for you called Ben Carter?
How did you know? Oh, did the sales manager tell you about it? I think Ben Carter is his son, right?
Of course, I see the resemblance now. Marcy, I'm afraid Ben isn't just a troublemaker, he's also a criminal.
A criminal? What did he do? Is it my fault?
Calm down, Marcy. I need you to tell me everything you can about him. I'll need to make sure that he's disciplined for his actions, and I need your help. You probably know much more about him than I do. You haven't left the building yet, have you? Can you come to my office right now?
Sure thing, boss. I'll be right there.
Thank you. I understand you must be very busy. I'll try not to take too much of your time.
So this is awkward. Is it true that you're the CEO? I had a talk with Marcy and she told me about some stuff.
It's true, my name is Brooke Andrews and I'm the CEO of this company.
Oops, I guess I missed that detail.
I'm sure my face is on the company's website if you bother to check it out. I believe I also made a speech in front of all the new employees when I welcomed everyone into the company. I was surprised you never noticed, even after we exchanged our contact information.
Of course I wouldn't notice. Who would think the CEO would be disguised as a janitor? You're the CEO. Shouldn't you be working at your office? What were you doing in the restroom?
Oh, I do work at my office, during business hours at least. There's a proper reason as to why I was cleaning the restrooms. Working as the CEO is a hard job full of responsibilities. I carry the weight of all the employees on my shoulders. Yet it will be pretentious of me to think that all the company's success comes from myself alone. It's thanks to everyone who works here that we're doing so well in our business, and that includes all of the janitorial staff as well. There are a few ways I like to show my gratitude. Sometimes I'll buy them a cup of coffee. Sometimes I'll help them out with their job if it seems like they're having a hard time. And sometimes I'll offer to do the rest of the cleaning so that the janitors can go home an extra hour early to spend some time with their families. That is, of course, when I have time to spare, usually at the end of the day. And all the employees should know of this because I tell them that I would appreciate them saying hi to me if they ever see me cleaning one of their toilets.
Weird, but okay. I guess that's why I didn't know about it. I'm still new.
You should know. Like I said, all employees should know because whenever we get some new faces, I tell them during my speech at our welcome party. I'm pretty sure all of your colleagues know this well. I even had a chat with a few of them.
Oh, well, I guess I just forgot. I'm not the best at memorizing details, you know?
I heard that you were late to the welcome party. Marcy mentioned that you missed the first half of it, where we covered all of the formalities, such as introductions and the tour around the building. My speech should have been the last thing we did before we started the actual party, and Marcy said that you were there by then. But I assume I wasn't interesting enough for you to take notice of me. I understand you could forget if it's been a while since you heard my speech, but it's only been about a month. I think you just weren't listening.
You heard about me from Marcy, huh? But seriously, the CEO cleaning the bathrooms to show their gratitude, that's weird as hell. I've never heard of it before.
There are, of course, other reasons why I may clean the bathrooms. Sometimes people feeling either lazy or sick would come here to take a break. At other times, I can see how the employees interact with each other during their free time. I think that as the CEO, it's my job to make sure that I maintain a healthy environment for my workers. And staying cooped up in my office all day won't help me get to see what it's like for anyone else.
I don't know, man. I still think it's a weird thing to do.
A lot of people say that to me the first time they hear about it, but I'm completely fine with that. Besides, thanks to this daily routine, I was able to see what sort of person you are. Our company has no place for a despicable man like you. I'm afraid I have to ask you to leave.
Leave? Wait, you mean you're firing me? You can't do that. That's way too sudden.
Yes, I can. You're fired, Ben Carter. You can clean your desk and leave this building right now.
You can't do that. I know you're the CEO, but you can't just randomly fire people that you don't like.
Yes, I can. There are multiple reasons that I can terminate you. For one, I hear that you aren't doing your job. You boast about how you were hired under special circumstances, and you make all of your colleagues do your work for you.
Well, I am special. I get special treatment because my dad is the sales manager. If you fire me, what are you going to do about my dad?
Would you like to know? I can give you the details. If you refuse to leave, then I'm afraid I'll have to ask your father to accept a demotion and a salary deduction.
What? Why is he getting punished? It's not like I did anything that bad. Why are you trying to make a big deal out of this?
Mr. Carter, do you understand what you did? Not only do you have some serious problems with your character, you assaulted me and our staff. I can live with being covered in water, but I will not stand having you sticking our janitors' heads into one of the toilets and stealing money from them. Do you understand that that was assault and robbery? I can have you arrested for what you did.
Well, that was only because I didn't know that the CEO would be amongst the staff. If I knew beforehand, then I would never have bothered to talk to any of the janitors.
But that would imply that you wouldn't have a problem assaulting my employees if I wasn't going to be with them. I can't have someone who thinks so lowly of my employees that they'd mug them at work. As the CEO, it's my duty to protect my employees. The old man you assaulted was Jim. He started working here in order to help save up money for his granddaughter's college education. After what you did, he had to go to the hospital because he got a concussion. That's why you didn't see him.
I don't care about that dude. He was an actual janitor. No one cares.
Oh, but I do. I can't have a delinquent like you harming any more of our devoted workers. And I can see that after all this, you still don't think you've done anything wrong. I must terminate you in order to protect everyone else.
This is unethical, lady. It's an abuse of power.
I'm the boss here, and you don't deserve to be here. You should have at least tried to do your work.
Well, I don't know how to do my job yet. In case you forgot, I'm a new employee. I still have a lot to learn, alright? Isn't that why you have a training staff? So you can train us newbies to become good at our job?
All your colleagues have already started to prove themselves. Even if they're a late bloomer, they've shown that they're willing to do their best. You haven't done anything. All you've done is cause trouble and commit a vicious act of crime. It's time you grew up, Mr. Carter. This isn't the playground. You can't brute force your way in the adult world.
I'll do better in the future. You aren't actually doing all this just because I was mean to that old guy, are you? I get special treatment. I'm special. I should be above this.
You're special because you needed help from the inside to get a job here. People who get hired like that usually failed at getting a job somewhere else. And while that doesn't mean they aren't capable or good at their job, it certainly doesn't mean that they are.
What? I thought that people were looking forward to my future.
We were. We look forward to all our employees' futures. But I can see that we made a mistake by hiring you. If it hadn't been for your father's request, you would have never even been hired in the first place. He does well at his job and he gets along well with his team. It'll be sad to see him get punished for something he didn't do, but I'm afraid someone needs to take responsibility.
You don't have to do that, though. I just have to start pulling my weight, right?
No, your termination is already decided. But because we don't want you to start assaulting our other employees, we decided that if you really don't want to leave, we can compromise. You can stay under employment here as long as you don't come to the office. We both know that you won't work, so your father's pay will cover your salary, which means that he'll be working for minimum wage.
That's unreasonable.
Or we can have the authorities handle our situation. Like I said before, you assaulted Jim. That's a punishable offense. We can hand you over to the police and settle things in court.
Whoa. Seriously, let's slow down for a sec. Lady, you don't have to take things so far.
I agree. Your father preferred you not having a criminal record, and Jim was willing to forgive so long as you didn't bother him anymore. You really scared him. Anyways, we can fire you, or we can keep you and have your father pay the price. Either way, we'll have you give Jim back all of his money. We'll also have you pay for his medical fees. This is being very generous. I hope you understand that, Mr. Carter.
Fine, I won't assault anyone anymore. Just please, you can't do this to me. I didn't know that things would become so serious. Let's talk things over, okay?
Fine, we can talk things over. Please come over to my office, but don't think I'll be changing my mind. And don't think you can strong-arm me either. I didn't get to where I am taking it easy on incompetence.
Ben rushed into the office, but just like Brooke said, there was no way to convince her otherwise. He decided to accept his termination, but only because he feared his father. Still, his father was extremely disappointed with him. Eventually, their arguments ended with Ben getting kicked out of the house. He now had no job and no family to support him. No one knows what happened to him after that. Perhaps that's what happens when someone never learns to grow up and respect other people. Eventually, the hate and arrogance got him rejected from society, just as the body fights off a malicious virus. Good riddance.